Welcome back to day 2 of the Buddhist of the West Multicultural Festival. I hope you enjoyed day 1, and I know that you're probably busy, but this is a life-changing event. It could be, if there's something for you to learn. So it's great to see you again, and I would like to throw you a question, a very great question. A great leader once said that life is a relentless process of attrition. Now, what's attrition? It's a constant pressure and attack to make the person lose its energy. Therefore, it is extremely crucial that you find the right philosophy, the mindset, the right attitude to adopt in your daily practices so that you can cultivate the right habits to grow yourself bit by bit, day by day, and to help you become a better version of yourself and counteract against this force of attrition. And if you're open to growth and learning, then you are destined to reach your spiritual success, whatever it is, wherever it's inner peace, wisdom, or to reach the state of pure mind. Okay? And we hope the philosophies of Buddhism and its practices could be your key to unlock those knots in your mind. Because after all, we've got so much knots. That's where we sometimes really seek clarity and directions so that we can untie those knots in our head, in our mind, and we can be free again. So, hopefully the following Dharma sessions, the Dharma talk by world-renowned as well as popular Buddhist Dharma master can help you to unlock that. Most of the Dharma masters that we invited, they have renounced and they have been cultivating for more than 45 years. It is an ongoing journey, but 45 years as a monk or as a nun is not an easy thing. There are precepts to keep, strict precepts to keep. So, hopefully in day 2 of this special virtual event, we hope that you can enjoy the connection with various Dharma masters. And that if you're a beginner, it is more than okay to listen to various Dharma masters, to be exposed to various Dharma masters. But of course, ensure that they are very strict in their precepts. A monk has 250 precepts. A nun has about 500 precepts. And those are not easy. So the ones that are really stringent and strict with the precepts, those that you have to follow, or those is best to follow. Anyhow, I hope that the messages resonate with you, hook you, so that you can learn more about Buddhism. So let's get back to the program. What's the overview? Now, of course, today it's not just about Dharma talks and discovery journey, just like, there will be more demonstrations as well. Not just demonstration, but cooking demonstration, dance, sutra, and a little bit of educational events, inspirational events. So let's get started. But I would like to congratulate you for sticking around, for watching Sunday part 1, and then here in part 2, because you have made the right decisions to invest in your spiritual cultivation. Most people would probably hang around in Netflix, but you've decided to watch the part 2 series, which will definitely help you and your higher self to go to the next level. So be blessed and follow the Triple Gem. May the Dharma be with you. I will see you shortly. Welcome back. Now, our next event will be a virtual tour, and we are grateful to have the next Dharma master to give that Dharma talk to you. So he's going to take you a virtual tour, a discovery session, and explain some Buddhist philosophies. Now, he has been an abbot of the Guangming Temple in Braybrook, Melbourne, Australia since 1997. He has been practicing and teaching Buddhism, especially the Pure Land teaching and the Mahayana Buddhism, for many years. And in 1990, he was appointed as a spiritual advisor to three different Vietnamese Buddhist youth association, one in Melbourne and the other in Sydney. So currently he is a vice president of the World Fellowship of Buddhists and a member of the Engaging Buddhism Committee, which is helping the unity and the solidarity of the Committee of the World Fellowship of Buddhists to compile a common English chanting script to be used at the opening of future World Fellowship of Buddhist conferences. Now in 2008, he is been awarded an Order of Australia medal, right, as you can see, in recognition of his services to the community, an honor he promptly shared with the community. And he was a patron for the Parliament of World Religions held in Melbourne 2009. He is our co-organizer, Venerable Thich Pho Tan of Quang Minh Temple. Please welcome Venerable to do a tour.
Hi, welcome to Quang Minh Temple. I am Venerable Thich Pho Tan, Abbot of Quang Minh Temple. Welcome to visit my temple. It's one of the very first and oldest Vietnamese Buddhist temple in Australia. It was found back in 1980. This temple was complete constructed in 2011. It was open at the time His Holiness Dalai Lama visited Melbourne back 10 years ago. Now behind me, there's a lot of statues, and you probably will see a lot more statues around the perimeter of the shrine. It represents for the manifestation of one of our bodhisattva. Her name is Avalokitesvara. It also means the self-observing bodhisattva. It's a center for many Buddhist activity, many youth activity, and it's also home to a number of Buddhist groups exist in Melbourne, ranging from senior to very young. We also teach Vietnamese language school and also have a sporting club as well as two Vietnamese Buddhist Youth Association. They run their model similar to the Scouts back in 1950 when the Buddhist youth movement back in Vietnam adopting the Scout model. But apart from that, this is also a spiritual center. People do come here for chanting, meditation, to pray for their relative, for themselves, for their loved one, but also broadly for the well-being and for the world peace. The temple has an active commitment to sustainable development and also sustainable consumption of the energy. We install solar power, we collect rainwater, we recycle plastic and paper, and so forth. Also, the temple possesses adjacent land next to the river, Maribyrnong River, that gives us opportunity to care for the land. In the beginning of our development, we spent 10 years growing no less than 50,000 trees and plants and ground cover. Now, the green of the area is the result of that effort. In Quang Minh Temple, because the name called Quang means light, Minh means bright, so bright light. It's shining. We hope that we create a model for other people to follow. But therefore, we need to learn more from everyone in order to teach. So today, you are visiting one of the very important temple in the Vietnamese Buddhist history in Melbourne or in Australia. And I have the privilege to lead this temple since 1997. And it's just a year His Holiness visited 1996. He was here for a long teaching in that month, and I happened to be here. Since then, I've stayed and connect strongly with this city. However, Buddhists in the West or Quang Minh Temple, we are here not just about Buddhists, but about celebration of multicultural. The center has been well chosen by a number of important activities in the city, and often we receive a number of important international guests. The temple also member of a number important Buddhist organizations in the world and also in Melbourne or Australian-wide. And I myself, the Vice President of the World Fellowship Buddhist. And we participate and contribute widely. So Quang Minh Temple is here to help and here to preserve the Triple Gem and also to advance the beautiful teachings of the Lord Buddha. And we hope this is the genuine contribution we can make into the society. Today we wish you well and we wish you happy always. Nam Mô A Di Đà Phật.
Well, thank you, Venerable Thich Pho Tan. So thank you for the tour. Now we have the next Dharma Master, who you may have seen him in the day one on Sunday, but it's worth going through his credential again. So the Dharma Master who will give the next Dharma talk, part 2, is a Dharma Master from the city of 10,000 Buddha in monastery in Talmadge, Ukiah, California. He is a close disciple of the late Grandmaster Master Xuan Hua. Now, he is a well-known Dharma Master, being a monk for 45 years or more. And what made him really popular was the 2 years and 6 month pilgrimage that he did back in 1977 to 1979, which was also known as the 3 steps 1 bow. People see him, his fans see him as the 3 steps 1 bow monk, because he walked all the way from point A to point B, which is a long distance. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, the all amazing you, please welcome Reverend Heng She from the city of 10,000 Buddha, representing Melbourne Dharma Realm and in association of Gold Coast Dharma Realm, Queensland, to you to say a few words. Dharma Talk, Part 2.
Now, one of the other qualities that Buddhism has, one of the other real treasures that the Chinese Mahayana has, are the sutras, the wisdom embodied in the Flower Garland Sutra that talks about the Bodhisattva path, the Shurangama Sutra that talks about how to merge with samadhi, the state of absorption, body, mind, and spirit tuned to consistent vibration that calms the mind and also sensitizes the mind to every movement of thought, right? In the Shurangama. And then the Lotus Sutra, which talks about Buddhahood and how one walks the path of Buddhahood to its end. Also, what the Diamond Sutra, the famous Diamond Sutra that animated the Beat generation. Jack Kerouac writes about the Diamond Sutra. Gary Snyder, the nature poet, and the Beats first introduced Japanese Zen to the West, talking about the Diamond Sutra and the Heart Sutra. These are part of the wisdom tradition, the prajna body of literature. So my goodness, all these texts. Then some of the most popular sutras are not known until you discover their English translations, things like the Amitabha Sutra, the Pure Land tradition of devotion. Wow, like Bhakti Yoga, right? Arguably, more people in East Asia know Buddhism entirely as a devotional tradition. They recite the Buddha's name, Namo Amitabha, Buddha of limitless light. Namo Amitofo, they say. That has 3 sutras that carry that story. The Earth Store Bodhisattva, Kshitigarbha, Earth Treasury Bodhisattva, that information comes through a sutra called the Earth Store Sutra. So there are so many precious teachings of wisdom that are entirely accessible to us now because of the work of Master Hsuan Hua, who made it his job, his work, every night that he was alive in America from 1962 on. He explained the Mahayana Sutras for 90 minutes. 6:30 was evening chanting, 7:30, we want to open up these texts, go through them line by line. And who knew? At the time, we didn't know that that this was not the way it was done in Asia. We assumed this is what all the monks did. Interestingly enough, in Asia, explaining sutras had become the property of a certain class of monastics who kind of owned the sutras and turned it into an intellectual exercise and made it hard to access. You had to go through the chanting and the mantras and the praises and the formality, and then you never really got to the Buddha's voice. You had to worry about things like commentaries from the Tang Dynasty. And while these are wonderful resources, they shouldn't become an obstacle to hearing the Buddha's voice. What Master Hua did, among many other things, was to give us the voice of the Buddha. And the question that he asked was, can the Buddha speak English? Yeah, English that I understand, not Chinglish, not a hybrid kind of patois that translators use, but actual English syntax with access to contemporary idioms. So that is our work in as followers, disciples of Master Hua, and students at Dharma Realm Buddhist University as well, to take that huge legacy of sutra lectures that he left behind and translate them into English. And indeed, does the Buddha speak French? Est-ce le Bouddha parle français? Oui, vraiment, c'est ça, bien sûr. Right? Does the Buddha speak Vietnamese? Oh my goodness. Does the Buddha speak Polish? Does the Buddha speak Spanish? No hablo español? Sí, habla. Right? The Buddha can speak all these languages when good-hearted folks take the time to learn the languages and to also learn the Dharma, put them together, and you have BuddhistTexts.org, BuddhistTexts.org, BuddhistText.org, which is the home of the Buddhist Text Translation Society. The volunteers, nobody has got a penny from this work in its 50 years of existence. Go to BuddhistTexts.org online, and you will discover the treasury of the Buddha's voice with the support of the commentaries, but not obstructed by, limited by having to go through the lens of a monk in the Tang Dynasty who had a perspective suitable for the Tang Dynasty. Master Hua said, you need to open the sutras. Your wisdom is sufficient. They are a map to your destination. If you want to make sure you get all the way to Adelaide, you don't want to wind up somewhere in Western Australia. You have to get a map, right, to make sure you're on the road. If you want to get to Cairns up in Queensland, you don't want to stop at, Brisbane. So he said that the sutras are a blueprint to the palace of wisdom that you are building out of your life. If you want to know where the doors and the windows should go, you need a blueprint, right? Whereas the 2x4s are 18 inches apart. You need to know that information. The sutras describe your palace of wisdom that your life is becoming bit by bit. If you want to understand who you are fundamentally past this thing, which is a temporary, guise, this human skin, who am I inside? The sutras are a mirror that show you your, they say, your original face, who you really are fundamentally, your fundamental identity. That's what the Buddha did. In the prince, in his 49 years of investigation, he looked into this basic human identity and said, yes, indeed, there is a self, but it's a constructed self. It's not the real thing. It's a shifting collage of identities from infancy to toddlerhood to childhood to adolescence to maturity to age, and then on, and then gone and back again. So the sutras describe that process. They are understandable. Trust your ability to bring the wisdom out from within that can match the sutras and just expand them, make it complete and connect it, connect that wisdom. So that's what's in the sutras. They are in the languages of the world now. Go to BuddhistTexts.org. So as Buddhism comes to the West, certainly we start with mindfulness. That's great. We read a good book on Buddhism. We feel cosmic. We go, oh, Zen, meaning somehow some abstract mysticism. Okay, start there, but don't stop there. Keep going. You will discover, meet the Buddha in his own words, right? Meet Guanyin Bodhisattva. Pick up the Flower Garland Sutra and learn the Bodhisattva path and how to use this wisdom to transform my own life and my own mind. Become a better son, become a kinder daughter, become a better parent, a wiser parent, right? Become a better employer or a more rewarding employee, team member, friend, right? Citizen. All this wisdom is within, and the sutras are the paper trail of an individual who investigated this wisdom to its deepest point, right? Now, what's in the sutras? Well, in the Lotus Sutra, we have the story of never sliding Bodhisattva. Does it go? Oh, there's a wonderful story. Here it is right here. I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. How does it go? There's a book called the Lotus Sutra that you really ought to know about. A holy book has the power to remove all fear and doubt. And the book tells the story of a man who means the world to me. He could just as well have been a woman, except for male hegemony. They called him the Bodhisattva never disparage, the Bodhisattva never despise. And I'm making it my ambition to see the world through his clear eyes. What is the Bodhisattva never disparage? This is from the chapter of the Lotus Sutra, right? Okay, what does he say? He says, I will never disparage you or keep you at arm's length. You only see your weaknesses. I only see your strength. I would never despise you or put you down in any way, because it's clear to me, I can plainly see you'll be a Buddha someday. Amitabha. Now, the Bodhisattva never disparaging from countless kalpas in the past, in the time of the counterfeit Dharma, he was something of an outcast, because the monks and nuns of his time were known for their arrogance and vanity. And these were the folks who exercised great power and authority. But my boy never concerned himself if they treated him like a freak, because he bowed to everybody equally. And these are the words he'd speak. I will never disparage you or keep you at arm's length. You only see your weaknesses. I only see your strength. I would never despise you or put you down in any way. It's clear to me, I can plainly see you'll be a Buddha someday. Amitabha. He never read or recited the scriptures much. He just liked to practice respect. But the monks and nuns of his time didn't meet it like you might expect. Instead, they cursed him. They reviled him. They wished that he would go, because they all had self-esteem issues, pretty much like everyone else I know. Beat him, they pelted him with clubs and stones. They tried to drive him away, but he'd just run off to a safe distance. Then he turned around and said, I would never disparage you. So it went on for years and years. He was the target of scorn and abuse, but still our hero shed no tears, wondered what's the use, till he came to the end of his natural lifespan and he lay down fixing to die. And he heard the Holy Lotus Sutra being preached up in the sky. His life was extended for millions of years and he's living to this day. And in the pages of the Lotus Sutra, you still can hear him say, never disparage you, keep you at arm's length. You only see your weaknesses. I only see your strengths. I would never despise you or put you down in any way. Because it's clear to me, I can plainly see you'll be a Buddha someday. Amitabha. Now we're ready for the song itself. There's a book called the Lotus Sutra that you really ought to know about. Holy book has the power to remove all fear and doubt. And the book tells the story of a man who means the world to me. He could just as well have been a woman, except for male hegemony. And they call him the Bodhisattva, never disparage, the Bodhisattva, never despise. And I'm making it my ambition to see the world through his clear eyes. I will never disparage you or keep you at arm's length. You only see your weaknesses, but I only see your strengths. I would never despise you or put you down in any way. 'Cause it's clear to me, I can plainly see you'll be a Buddha someday. Amitabha. Now the Bodhisattva never disparaged from countless kalpas in the past. In the time of the counterfeit Dharma, he was something of an outcast. 'Cause the monks and nuns of his time were known for their arrogance and vanity. These were folks who exercised great power and authority. But my boy never concerned himself if they treated him like a freak. He bowed to everybody equally, and these are the words he'd speak. I would never despise you or put you down in any way. Clear to me, I can plainly see you be a Buddha someday. You only see your weaknesses, I only see your strengths. It's clear to me, I can plainly see you'll be a Buddha someday. Amitabha. He never read or recited the scriptures much, he just liked to practice respect. But the monks and nuns of his time didn't greet him like you'd expect. Instead they cursed him, they reviled him, and they wished that he would go. 'Cause they all had self-esteem issues, about like everybody else I know. But they beat him, they pelted him with clubs and stones, they tried to drive him away. He'd just run off to a safe distance, these are the words he'd say. I would never disparage you or keep you at arm's length. You only see your weaknesses, I only see your strengths. I would never despise you or put you down in any way. It's clear to me, I can plainly see you'll be a Buddha someday. Amitabha, Amitabha. And so it went on for years and years. He was target of scorn and abuse. Still our hero never shed any tears or wondered, what's the use? Till he came to the end of his natural lifespan. He laid down fixing to die, and he heard the Holy Lotus Sutra being preached up in the sky, and his life was extended for millions of years. He's living to this day. In the pages of the Lotus Sutra, you still can hear him say, I would never disparage you or keep you at arm's length. You only see your weaknesses, but I only see your strengths. I would never despise you or put you down in any way. 'Cause it's clear to me, I can plainly see, you'll be a Buddha someday. Amitabha, it's clear to me, I can plainly see, you'll be a Buddha someday. Amitabha. Alrighty. So, thanks for inviting me to take part in our Melbourne Buddhists in the West Festival. And I'd like to invite everybody to look into Gold Coast Dharma Realm, gcdr.org, Gold Coast, GC Dharma Realm, DR, gcdr.org, our convent monastery here in Gold Coast. We have, once COVID lets up, we will be resuming our weekly meditation class. And we have regular ceremonies, we have regular sessions, meditate Chan and Pure Land and sutra reciting and such. So that's all available. If I had to say what was the most valuable teaching of Master Hsuan Hua, our founder here in the West, Buddhist pioneer who brought the right Dharma to the West, it would probably be the mind ground Dharma door, Shindi Faman, they call it, the mind ground. And that's metaphorical language. It says the mind is like a garden, and anything we plant with our thoughts will grow equally. Good thoughts, nasty thoughts, harmful thoughts, compassionate thoughts, they all grow equally in this mind ground, right? So be a good gardener. That's the teaching. And embedded in this notion is the power of our mind, power of our thoughts. And what this does, if we take this teaching seriously, the Mahayana, the mind ground Dharma method, is to say that we can take charge of our lives. We can take charge of our fate, not fate. It's cause and effect. It's a garden. What are you growing in your garden? What am I growing in my garden? That's what I'll harvest. Is it star thistle? Is it nettles? Is it broken glass and candy bar wrappers and broken Coke bottles and stones? Well, who's to blame, right? So you got to roll your sleeves up and get out a shovel and a hoe and break up that rough soil, pick up the broken glass and the barbed wire, if that's what you got, the flattened tin cans, recycle them and make the big chunks smaller chunks and amend with fertilizer and water it, put down some seeds. And of course, what am I talking about? It's the mind. This is how you prepare a garden. Pretty soon, you see these green shoots coming up out of what used to be a vacant lot. Now it's a garden. Put a fence around it to keep the cats and the boys on the bicycles away while you're growing stuff. And put in some walkways so people can get in there and enjoy watching the bees and the birds come back and the squirrels and the chipmunks. And if you're in Australia, you got to actually keep the wallabies out. You might find a python or two, welcome them. And here is the planet forgiving humanity for our ignorance. Here is the mind forgiving us for our ignorance, right? Our minds can become a clean, well-lit, wholesome place to move into if we treat our mind like a garden. This is the Shindi Paman. And one of the very, very best methods in the Mahayana that I appreciate is called repentance. And the repentance method, renewal, that's probably better to say renewal. This is a method of going into the mind to say, I made a mistake, I didn't do that very well. I'd like to try again. I'd like to renew. And the notion of Samantabhadra Bodhisattva, this is a bodhisattva who he's called the bodhisattva of the most extensive practices, great practices, bodhisattva, great ways of growing a better garden, becoming a better gardener. Samantabhadra Bodhisattva is in the Flower Garland Sutra. He's rides an elephant. If you've seen that picture of a strange being, kind of magnificent person on the back of an elephant, that's Samantabhadra. And he is known as the confessor, the repentance host. The idea is when I look into my mind and say, why didn't I get involved in my own garden earlier? Why did I just let it be full of weeds? Or a place where I couldn't go. My mind was a no-fly zone, right? Why did I let that go? Why did I allow myself to use profanity for so long? What's the value of profanity? Right? It burns the ears, hurts the heart. Why did I lie? Truth wins in the end. So the sooner I tell the truth, the less defeats I have in my life, right? Why did I cheat? Why did I break my promise? I made a vow to that person. Why did I break my vow, right? You get into your life, I get into my life and I start asking myself these questions and say, yeah, ultimately there is a way to be a better human. And it involves a traditional old-fashioned standard where humanity rises. Humanity ascends to another level of behavior. It's a traditional level. It says, I will live harmlessly without taking life. I will share what I have instead of stealing. I will be true to my promises, to keep my word to my partners, to my families. I won't cheat and break those vows and break hearts in the process. I will tell the truth. I will be as good as my word. Stand behind the words I say, right? And I'm going to love wisdom instead of intoxication. Getting high after a while just becomes old, and I remember just waiting until I'd get that alcohol out of my system so I could return to the hard-won clarity of meditation. I loved the stillness and the how far I could see after meditating, and alcohol and drugs just became such a waste of time. How many breaths do I have? Do I want to take those breaths confused and murky, or do I want to take those breaths in touch, clear seeing? That was a choice I made. It's the mind ground, right? I'm cleaning up the mind ground. So here we are. This is Samantabhadra's way. And in the process, there's a verse that arises from the Flower Garland Sutra. And I want to share my screen here. Here's Samantabhadra's verse. He says, for all the harmful things I've done with my body, speech, and mind, from beginningless greed, anger, and stupidity, through lifetimes without number, to this very day, I now repent and I vow to change entirely. Right? How empowering this is to know I can. This is the mind ground. We harvest whatever we plant, right? So if we see weeds coming up, we can recycle, compost those weeds. I'm in charge of my garden, the mind ground, right? And if I know I've done it wrong, do it different, do it better. The mind renews itself the way the earth, if we give it a chance, will replace all of the concrete that we poured. I don't know if we can replace the oil that we extract, the blood of the planet, but certainly the waters. I grew up in Toledo, Ohio, and the Maumee River was polluted and foul. And the people of Toledo said, we want this water back. We want to use the river to boat on, to fish from, people who like to fish. We can go down to the river and renew our lives. And they cleaned up the Maumee River, and it's sparkling now. The river forgave us. It was said to be a dead river. It's not. Just stop pouring in the pollutants and the river returns. The earth is forgiving to a point, right? So our minds are the same way, the mind ground. So this verse says, all the things that I've done with my body, speech, and mind, doesn't matter how long, if I can repent, if I can renew and change entirely, it's a new mind. It's a new day.
For all the harmful things I've done with my body, speech, and mind, from beginning was greed, anger, and stupidity, through lifetimes without number, to this very day, I now repent and I vow to change entirely. For all the harmful things I've done with my body, speech, and mind, from beginningless greed, anger, and stupidity, through lifetimes without number, to this very day, I now repent and I vow to change entirely. For all the harmful things I've done with my body, speech, and mind, from beginningless greed, anger, and stupidity, through lifetimes without number, to this very day, I now repent and I vow to change entirely. I now repent and I vow to change entirely.
So this practice of repentance in the Mahayana is so powerful, so wonderful. All righty. So thank you for letting me share some of the treasures of the Mahayana here in our festival. Some of the glories that are now here in the West among us. And before I go, I would like to share something about the Mahayana. That's promises to actually be helpful in a time of COVID. There is a Buddha whose name is Medicine Buddha. And sure enough, in the Mahayana tradition, there are multiple Buddhas. There's more than one. There are, you say, as many Buddhas as there are thoughts, as many Buddhas as there are living beings. And one of those Buddhas who we know about because of the sutra is named Medicine Buddha, by Sagyaraj Guru in Sanskrit, Yao Shufo in Chinese. And Medicine Buddha has a mantra, and it's all about healing. And I would like to encourage folks to learn and recite this mantra of Medicine Buddha. Here in a time of pandemic, if we, instead of thoughts of anger or greed or delusion, if we can keep this mantra going in our hearts, we're sending out the best vibration from an ancient tradition to put everything that's distorted back to proper, everything that's polluted back to pure, everything that's confused back to clear, right? This is what the power of mantra vibrations do. So here we go. And I'm going to share my screen again and encourage everybody to recite this mantra. Here we go. This is Medicine Buddha's mantra. Samyak Sambuddhaya Tadyata Asaji Asaji Asaja Samhate Swaha Namo Bhagavate Asaja Pravarajaya Tathagata Arahate Samyak Sambuddhaya Tadyata Asaji Asaji Asaja Samudgate Swaha Om Namo Bhagavate Asaja Guru Madhurya Pravarajaya Tathagata Arahate Samyak Sambuddhaya Tadyata Vasaji, Vasaji, Vasaja Samudgate Swaha Thanks everybody, been a pleasure. Hope all of the other traditions that you get to meet during our festival here, Buddhism in the West, also open doors for you to enter the mind, to start getting to work on the mind ground, and leading us all to wisdom and compassion. Amitofo, bye-bye.
Well, thank you very much, Reverend Henshe, and the beautiful guitar songs and about Guan Yin as well. Thank you very much. So, the next Dharma Master that we've got that we would like to introduce to you is Venerable Puti Sai, Puti Bantith from the Wat Mai Buddha Vongs. Is a Lao Buddhist monk, and he is the master for the Lao Buddhist Society. So let's welcome the Venerable Putisai Puti Pandit from Lao Buddha Bong.
Our temple, we have to bought in here and when about 2017. In here, very peace and the greens of the trees and look very nice. And all of the people you will look they feed the horse and a lot of the grapes, farms, many things. My name is Putisai Puti Bandit, or Pali name is Thi Pa Wang So. I was from Laos. It is Saturday. We have all of the people, the old people, at the morning. They come to get the fireplace safe, chanting and make meditation, offer food and talk together. At the morning, every Thursday we go to the Cinnabon to Bintabat. Bintabat is in around go walking at the shops and the owner of shop they will tell me, Venerable, please drop to my shop, we will put your food. And every Friday we Bintabat at the Fusukre, and at the evening of every day we chanting and meditation. Some people who love passing away from them, and we have to talk to them, and sometimes talk to people at home or visiting for the people who was sick or helping the food. In here we use the Buddhist teaching about the Anapanasati. Anapanasati is a breathe out and breathe in. And Vipassana 4, walking, meditation, lying, but we never use lying because too easy and hard to do because easy to sleeping, and standing, that is. Walking we have 6 steps, and sitting we have 40 steps for the. And Vipassana, we have about 28 points with the at our bottom, at the knee, at the chest, like this, at the shoulder. Okay. We need to build this temple for Lao community, Thai community, Cambodia, and Asian and Europeans. Everyone, all of monks, all people who are interested in the Buddhist, in the 4 dialect, come make meditation and come to join and learn Buddhist and practice meditation, or talk together or join some ceremony. Every year we have the traditions. January, February we have a timetable ceremony every month. New Year festival or water festival, Bunpawet festival, like this. We have invited everyone come to join and talk or teaching together in here. Because in Australia, a lot of people have stay alone, make one number of problems in Australia. So we need to help like this. The general is 3 ways for practice. First, just do with the duty. Because in the Buddha teachings is everyone have duty. When we living at the home, we have the duty, the good duty for parents. At the work, we have to be the labor duty and boss duty. At the school, teacher duty and student duty. So we have to do the duty for complete. This is one practice with our duty. Second is practice with the eye. When we saw everything, when we go to the cemetery or funeral, we saw the coffin or someone who was passed away. We have to think, oh, they have profound like us. at not long we will die with them. How, when still alive, how to do in this world for have the profit for us, for another, and for the social, and how to do for this birth, next birth, and at the nirvana or enlightenment. Third way is for practice meditations about 5 ways. First, practice from reading, looking, watching at the YouTube, MP3 or book, and 2 for the explain. When we listen or memory get from somewhere, then we explain for anyone. And number 3, chanting. Number 4, memorize. Example, when we chanting and translate, Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa, I respect the Buddha who far from the desire, like this. And we have to consider rest with the word, step by step, like this. And number 5, make meditation, sitting, walking, lying, like this. It's with the structures of the textbook or something they have listened from.
Well, thank you very much, Venerable. Okay, that was an interesting tour of his temple. And now we would like to transcend you to another world, which is in Zen Buddhism. Now, in Zen Buddhism, we've got a Buddhist master, which is Ikai Koromatsu Osho. And he's going to demonstrate the traditional tea ceremony. Enjoy.
はい、Welcome. Diksho and unique practice of meditation practice form includes the tea ceremonies in the meditation practice we do together. But here, traditional tea offerings to the Buddha, to the altar, and tea is called matcha, and this tea ceremony has 400 years of history when established by the Rikyu. Before that, tea was brought by the Zen monk to Japan called Vesak. Tea seed from China was planted, and toward the beginning of the growing the tea in Japan, it was late 12th centuries. Among the first is a Buddhist community, monastic community, and the tea was used in China as a kind of herb, and it's a healthy herb and stimulates mental and physical activity, particularly the meditation practice, monastic practice. And the Zen master Yosai brought tea seed to Japan. It was popularized. It was same time together with the introduction of Zen meditation Buddhism. First it was adopted by the monastic, and later adopted by the aristocrat and the warrior samurai class, and it was adopted by the merchant class. That's where Rikyu comes in. And Rikyu popularized and took all the barrier away it was start with a monastic communities, aristocrat. But liquid innovation popularized and took barriers. Everyone become equal footings. When they come to tea room, there are no hierarchies. Even a warrior class, that time highest in the social rank, cannot come in with a sword. You have to put sword aside, outside of tea room. It was the incredible revolutionary ideas, and successively, and then developed the tea school. Actually, there is a big tea school, two major tea schools of the tea ceremony in Japan, called Senke, named after Sen no Rikyu's founder. And they do special day offer to the altar. Essence of the tea ceremony is the Buddhism. The way of tea is a way of Buddha Dharma. That was the Rikyu's word. So each process is important. Yeah, first I just do simple form. And if it's a tea ceremony with a guest, and guest will receive the tea sweet first. So eat tea sweet first, while when started to do the preparing to wet the called chasen whisk. So matcha powder, tea powder is quite strong and bitter. So generally eat sweet first. Host prepare the tea and offer. And before offering, and oftentimes appreciation of the cup is important. Hold the cup like this, support, and like this. These two ways, this is one school's way. It's called Urasenke. And two schools, Ura school, Omote, I mean the front and the back. Omote senke is hold a tea cup like this and drink. And the teacup itself has a face actually. This doesn't have a much face. And usually when you drink, before drinking, host will serve the teacup, tea to the person, guest sitting, facing the front face of the tea bowl, and please, that gesture, without saying anything. Then the guest will receive. It will be like here. It's about 14 lines of this. Then if there is not only one guest, two guests there, you just simply don't drink. Just give opportunity. Like this. This is a gesture of the, it's just a formality, but the other person will say, no thank you. Then you receive. Then itadaki. Then front is here. You don't touch the lips on the front face of the teacup. Shift this from the side, and this is the urasenke style drink. After finishing it, move further. The front face is the host, and then the appreciation, that the tea bowl appreciation, appreciate tea bowl. And there that conversation might take place. It's about the utensil we use. It's about the tea, where this tea comes from, or what kind of ceramics is that, and giving a full respect to each thing. Throughout this ceremony is a practice of respect and harmony with the person and the tea and the guest and the space. Essence of tea, characteristic of tea is called wa kyo jaku. Wa means harmony. Harmony is the one aspect. And kyo means respect. Sei means purity. Jaku means tranquility or nirvana. Create the nirvana, peace in this space. Passion gone. That is the essence of the tea. And simple just creating, making a tea offering brings that situation. It's nothing special. We practice this way and bring the universal quality all human beings shared, cultivate and enjoy this. And the conversation takes place between the host and the guest is limited till something happened in this. We don't talk about the gossip or something. You don't bring the agendas to this one. It's the same spirit of the Zen meditation. You're not working on some issue or something, homework. You cultivate the quality you have it. But it's almost like a lost in the way because you're too busy caught up with it in ordinary life. So in essence, it's same with the tea ceremony about Buddhist practice of creating a nirvana or a peace in this world. Anyway, this I'll offer to the Buddha. Holding cup is like this, bringing to the eye level and offer to the Buddha. Before offering to the Buddha and offer the incense, and purify. And this altar is very small, usually in front. Then drum 3 times. Drum is a signal of the offering a tea. Before that, offer that, prostration takes place. So, some grand special occasions, then, if there is a teachers or voluntarily like to offer, they will do offer before starting chanting service, various services. And at the end of the service, tea bowl will be collected. And 2 bells, just drums. Don, when exit, yes. That's the end of the day.
Well, thank you very much, Venerable Ikai Koromasu Oshu, for that tea ceremony demonstration. I presume that all of us find that extremely interesting because we never thought that drinking a tea would require a lot of processes, and in fact it is a fine art to appreciate the tea. Well, so thank you very much. All right, let's move on to the next Dharma Master. So next we have Venerable Koti Santindriya from the Buddhist temple Dham Nikitanaya, and he's going to walk us through to his temple and give us a bit of a tour. So let's welcome Venerable Koti Santindriya. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Ashini. I am a teacher at the North Victorian Buddhist Association. So we actually have a Sunday school program that runs for 3 hours every Sunday evening. We help students understand more about Buddhism and more about our language, which is Sinhala, as well as our cultural practices and traditions. During this time, we facilitate students from prep all the way to year 9, and at different year levels they take part in different activities where they can understand more about the teachings of Buddha and get to practice their language as well. The Sunday school program also facilitates the Sri Lankan drumming practice, which after they practice they are able to participate in the parades that happen around the temple for various occasions, such as the Vesak programs and the Poson programs that we run for the full moon days. We also have a lot of culture. Students from all different cultures are more than welcome to participate in our Sunday school. So we have a lot of information on our website that you are able to use in order to register your students at this Sunday school, as well as to participate in all the things that we hold at the temple as well. So if you need any information, you're more than welcome to come in and talk to the people here so that you are aware of what we are teaching, or if you want to learn more about Buddhism, we're more than happy to help everybody out. So we hope to see you there.
I am Venerable Koti Santindriya, the chief incumbent of the Dham Nikitanaya Buddhist Temple, and I am the patron of the North Victorian Buddhist Association as well. The Dham Nikitanaya was started in 1994. It's not in this place. We started the temple in Glenroy. It's a small 1-bedroom unit we started over there in 1994. We are celebrating Vesak Day. That's the most important day for Buddhists in a grand scale. More than thousands people gathering to our temple to celebrate that day. From morning to night, we have the seal campaign, meditation classes, Dhamma discussion classes, and also we exhibit which we call Pandol, Torana. Many people like it because it's an illumination with light, lot of electrical light, color paintings. It depicting the life of the Buddha, past life. Not only Sri Lankans, this temple is open to anyone. So I invite you, please come and enjoy the serenity of the temple and learn something. Because in this modern world, we are talking about the peace. Peace. P-E-A-C-E, not P-I-E-C. Most of the people, they are talking about P-I-E-C-E. So what Buddha wants, inner peace, it should come from our heart. So we should understand this. Religion is to follow them, to teach them. And you have to follow the path. According to the Buddha, he never forced to come and believe. Buddha always said, please come and see. If it is good for you, you can follow. If it is not good for you, you can just avoid it. No matter. So the teaching is there. So it's open for anyone, everyone. And we have to come and learn and practice.
Well, thank you very much, Venerable Koti Santidriya. And I hope the audience, I hope you, the amazing you audience, have enjoyed that special tour. So now I'm going to bring you back in to a cooking demonstration. Now you've seen him on the first day, on Sunday, where he demonstrates a vegetarian entree, and then he prepares a vegetarian, easy to cook, delicious, sumptuous meal, a lunch type. And now he's going to develop and demonstrate to you a dessert style, a vegetarian, vegan style dessert for you to enjoy. So I'll see you shortly. All right, welcome back. This is the last final dish that Sean is gonna demonstrate to you. But let's recap. The first dish was the dessert. This is all vegetarian, by the way. The second dish was
the appetizer.
It was an appetizer.
Salad.
Yes. Yeah. And the second dish was the satay tofu with some minced dish. It was very delicious, yeah. And now we are going to the dessert stage. So I'll let Sean to talk about his dish today.
At the end, we always have a sweet ending. We say, eat in the mouth, sweet in the heart, always. And then today dessert is pumpkin sagu sauce with the deep fried banana. So some cool and hot combination.
But let's have a look at the ingredient first.
Yep.
You see, because when we talk about vegetarian, we always have to look at the nutrition value. We've got the banana, so very filling to the stomach, as well as giving us lots of energy. And we've got the almond flakes here, the strawberry, again, lots of nutritionist value. And the pumpkins we've got here. Now, this is the white fungus, isn't it?
Yes.
So the white fungus in the Chinese type of medicine, theories, it has, it will improve the blood flow. It's something like that, yeah. But everything here has a reason. It's not just like blend everything together and just say, here's the dessert. Because anyone can make a dessert, just sweet, sugar. But here, we're going to use some natural sweetness, such as the banana and a couple of
plum sugar.
Plum sugar, not just white sugar. plum.
Yep.
All right, that's it.
So basically, I roughly brief you all about the ingredient today. So white fungus been soaked and then let it soften, and then the sagu also pre-cooked. So we not cook it together. The main reason because of the sagu. Let's say you cook it together, it will add more starchy and then more thickened. So in mean of the time, I don't want to cook it together. I separately cook and then wash it under cold water. I believe everybody can cook a sagu. So we start with the sauce first, right? Okay, first of all, with the dessert sauce, everything need to measure. So you no need to scratch your head about the consistency of the thickening, and then how thick you wish to like, and then how diluted you like. So first of all, we measure about 500 ml water, plain water, and then turn on the heat. And then the pumpkin cut thinly, as I mentioned early on. If you cut thin, it's cooked more faster. So about 250 gram pumpkin. So we put in easy, and then let it boil, and then let it soften. So in meantime, you have a coconut milk and then gula melaka. If you can't find gula melaka, you can substitute with the brown sugar or black sugar. The reason I use palm sugar because it's have a natural sweeten and then more fragrant when cooking a dessert. So let it boil first, and then the fungus is it's quite unique. It's like the snow, you know. See, and then it's a crunch texture on it. So in meantime, let's say you want to let it more soften, you can pre-cook as well. So I always retain the crunchiness of the fungus. So let it boil first.
Now just to let the audience understand, like
Yep.
if you recall, right, in the middle, in the main dish, Chef Sean used coconut cream. This time, as a dessert, we're using coconut milk. So big difference.
Coconut cream, sorry, as well.
Oh, this is coconut cream as well.
Yeah.
So
Sorry
is this
about
coconut
that.
cream or milk?
Yeah, cream.
This is coconut cream.
Yeah, more
My
thicker.
mistake. Okay.
Sorry.
more thicker. But is there a difference?
As I mentioned early on, is a coconut milk is like UHT, like the fresh milk. If a coconut cream, like the cream in the Western culture, it's a slightly different.
Yes. Okay.
If you can get the fresh, is better option. So always you get fresh one. Let's say you overcook, it will split. You mentioned that when you cook curry, when they overcook the fresh coconut milk, he will separate. So become oily. It's not interesting of the presentation. So like
Okay, I
easy today, we can get it in the hypermarket or supermarket anywhere.
Now, I think the other thing that the audience would need to understand is that this is a very interesting type of food. Now, this is a Malaysian food, isn't it? Indonesian, Malaysian type of stuff. It's sago, S-A-G-O. Yeah, sago.
Yeah.
Now, when you buy in a pack, it doesn't look like this. It's actually little pebbles of pebbles actually, dry pebbles. You got to put in water, boil it up until it fluff like this. It's like a jelly thing. So this is actually a Malaysian, Indonesian type of dessert.
Yeah. Let me share how to cook sagu. You need a big pot of the hot boiling water, and then let it boil, and then only you put in sagu, keep stirring until transparent, and then cover it, leave it infused for about 30 minutes. After that, take out and flush it in the cold water, wash it, and then after that, ready to use.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And then let's say you leave it a while, it will become like the gum, you know. So when you put in the hot liquid, so he will split out a bit. Even cold liquid also is fine. Yeah. Let it boil first.
So now we are softening the pumpkins.
Yeah, exactly. In meantime, some of the secret, you can add in some coconut palm sugar first. So always taste as how sweet you like. Just put a bit to get a flavor. So like you say, seasoning the pumpkin, like seasoning the meat. Yeah. So end of the day, you don't need to add more sugar, more palm sugar on it.
Okay.
So again, This is I always use a stick blender. This is my favorite. So you can use like the blender, jug blender as well. So always remember, do not, when you use a jug blender, so do not fully cover, let some air come out. If you fully cover, it will explode like a volcano and then will split to your face. Always remember precaution. And then let it boil, always keep touching, press the pumpkin, whether it's ready or not. I think it's quite fast. I think it's about 10 minutes. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, of course,
should be okay
you can't see it here, but now the pumpkins are breaking.
Yep.
And which means it's a sign that it's softening.
So we let it
And this is all because Sean Chef has actually cut it into a very thin slice. And that's why, it's taking only a short minutes to make it soft. But if you're cutting in big chunk pieces, then obviously it's going to take a longer time. But now it's getting softer, which is good.
all the flavor come out already. I think starting can smell. Always as I mentioned, always how to taste your sense of smell. You just dip it in there. After that smell, you can smell the palm sugar and then the pumpkin as well. I let Victor share this tip.
Yes, you can smell it.
Safety reason. So instead of like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you smell the gas, it's not healthy. That's a secret, always.
Yeah, learn something today.
So you see,
Ah.
let the Victor smell, is it? Oh, you see the smoke come out?
Yes, the smoke comes out.
So he will follow the spoon
Yep.
where I drag in.
Yes.
Okay, I think should be. Let it boil a bit. And then in this time I would like to share a bit. Some people find washing dishes is a pressure when end of the meal need to wash dish. So many things to wash. I say, don't think about that. Think about you washing your clothes. Your beautiful clothes you need to wash. Same. After you wash, you fold it nicely, put in the cupboard. You treat it like that so yourself is not so pressure. So feel happy. So the plate been washed, arranged nicely. You just take it out and then reuse it. So you must treat it like that, and then in the meantime it's cooking, always make people happy. I think it should be.
So the moral of that point is that when you do cooking, especially at this level, you shouldn't worry about washing dishes.
Yeah.
Because it's all about the taste.
Yes.
So don't worry about washing dishes, because you can always have a washing machine, not a dishwasher.
As food always make people happy.
Food is important.
I think it should be okay.
Yep.
I think we can keep pushing by using spoon. And then turn off the heat. Again, we use
Yes.
my favorite tools. We call RoboCop.
Now it's not the RoboCop as in the movie. This is
Yes.
RoboCoupe, C-O-U-P-E.
Make it short cop.
Yeah,
Short.
cop.
Cop.
RoboCop.
See, we test it. How is it?
Right,
Just
I'm
be
going to
careful,
stand
right?
far away.
Again. So blend it while hot, because hot is soft. When cold, it's more harder. Always remember. I think basically it's smooth already.
Yep.
I think it should be okay.
Yep.
So the same pot, so we put in the fungus. So the white fungus depend how many gram you like to put in. This one basically is a softened, is 200 gram. So after that, we put in the coconut milk. Again, coconut cream.
Coconut cream,
yeah.
yes.
Not UHT, right? Put in. It's 100 ml coconut cream.
Now for your information, this is not the fungus that is not healthy to eat. This is the eatable types of fungus. You can buy this in Asian grocery stores. They are white color, they are dried version as well. You have to boil it until it becomes soft. So just letting you know, a disclaimer here, this is not the fungus that stem from bacteria. This is
Healthy
eatable,
fungus.
healthy fungus
Yes,
that
yes.
according to Chinese medicine, that if you consume in the right portion, it will help your blood to circulate.
After that, we put in the pre-cooked sago. You put in. This one depend how many you like. You just put in. Just estimate. There's no specific measurement. So we use a whisk to make the sago loosen. So just now it's quite thick, right? Make it
Yep.
loose a bit.
So I presume now it's going to have the right sweetness, isn't it? Because you
Yes,
combine
correct,
the palm
correct.
sugar
Yep.
and the pumpkins
Yep.
already have its existing sweetness. So
Yes.
this is the right sweetness. Yeah.
Exactly. As I mentioned, it depends on how sweet you like. Taste first before adding the palm sugar. So we have a taste first.
Now only Sean Chef can put the thing straight into his mouth, but for most of us, we have to blow it first.
Oh,
Then you can then put it into your tongue. Otherwise, burns your tongue, isn't it?
Victor have a very good observation.
So I don't know how you train your tongue to be so tough now.
Oh
You
my
can just
God.
quickly put it into your tongue. That's a very hot boiling.
I think been trained for
Dish.
almost 10 years already.
10
I think
years.
more than 10 years already. Depend how sweet. Keep taste. Always. Do not rush for the sugar. Keep putting slowly. Don't worry. You put 10 times, so it's okay. Most important thing, how sweet you like. I think almost there already. Put a bit more sugar. It should be okay. Okay, I think should be okay already. And then let it cool and then keep in the fridge. If you want serve it hot, it's fine because my version is hot and cold combination. So this is done. Leave it cool in the room temperature. After that, put it in the tub. Keep it overnight. You can keep for 3 days because it's the content of the coconut cream. You can treat it straight away like soupy dessert, Tong Sui Chinese say. Yeah. So it's done. So next, we're gonna make the crispy batter for the banana.
Okay.
Yeah.
So crispy battered. In some of the Chinese
Yep.
restaurant, they call it banana fritter.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's similar.
This is a fast version and
fast
shortcut version, not shortcut like. So far, I experiment the best batter I discover. This one.
The best batter.
Yeah. So we put it self-raising flour, 125 gram. Remember, this one no estimate. You must get the correct consistency. And then 125 gram potato starch. Remember?
So 125 grams of starch.
Yep.
And then 100. What? Sorry. The
125 gram the self-raising flour.
So 125, 125.
Yes, exactly.
So exactly the same. 125 self-raising flour and 125 the normal flour.
No.
The
Potato starch.
potato starch.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the baking soda, quarter teaspoon of the baking
One
soda.
quarter teaspoon of the baking soda.
Yep.
Okay.
And then just put in, mix
Yep.
it all together.
Now it has to be
Done.
precise measurement.
And then
Otherwise it's not gonna work.
250 ml of the cold water. Put in.
250 ml.
Yes.
All right.
And then we don't use hand, we use a whisk. Let the machine do the work.
Okay.
Then they keep stirring. Keep
So instead of using the
stirring.
RoboCop, we're
Yeah.
going to use the whisk.
Oh,
this
today
time.
whisk. No Robocop anymore.
Not
We
Robocop.
Say goodbye to him. Thank you. And then keep stirring. You see?
Okay, it's
You get the
getting
correct consistency. You see?
so 125, 125
Yep.
plus 1 teaspoon,
No, quarter.
quarter teaspoon,
And then water,
and water.
water is, 250
250
ml.
ml.
Yes, Victor have a very good memory. He can
Yes.
become a next chef. Okay, all done. And then oil. This is already preheat oil.
Yep.
Yep.
Now
Be
be
careful,
careful,
yeah?
yeah. This is
Yeah.
oil.
This is already preheat. How we see the oil is hot, not hot or not hot? It's easy. So
So, how do we see whether the oil
Very
is
good question.
hot?
Yeah. The traditional
not.
way, we're using a bamboo chopstick, dip in, and then bubble cover. So in the modernized way, not modernized way, my way, you just take some batter, put in. Oh, you see, it's
I
ready,
see.
right? So we put in the banana, we can straight away fry already.
Now we can't show it to you because it's a very hot oil. We can't tip it like that. But let me explain to you. When Chef,
we put
when
in the
Sean
oil,
tested out with the batter, it floated. The batter immediately floated, and then it fried. So that's a sign that the oil is very hot. If the oil is not hot, it will just sink in, and there's no frisking sound. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So this is really hot oil.
So easy. If you, let's say at home you have a deep fryer, we can get the 180 is the ideal heat for the deep frying item. But this one, if you have a thermal, you can plug it in, heat until 180, then should be okay. The crispy batter you can fry for like tofu also can, and then the sweet potato, taro, and then maybe you can experiment deep fry strawberry as well. Yeah, why not? Huh?
Yes.
Always the unhealthy food is the best food ever to eat. Fried item, people love it.
Agreed. Yes.
So we keep the fry.
Just look at all the oil here.
See? Oh my God. See the potato? Potato, the banana.
The bananas,
Cooked very well with the batter. Yeah. And then we can see you touch.
Like
this one you don't do, huh?
Yes.
This one I've been trained already.
Yes.
Yeah.
You call the irons
oh my God.
the iron hand, isn't it?
No.
Yeah. Do you have to shove the hand every single
like the
Shaolin with the Shaolin trainer?
No,
this time
better no. Always be careful. Don't raise yourself.
Don't raise yourself. Yeah.
Food always make people happy. Not challenging like I can dip the finger in the hot oil.
Now that's called making people crazy. So food makes people happy, not to make them crazy. Never put your hands just like that, just to test your fingers.
You just deep fry the banana until golden brown because banana already soft inside. We just want to get the crunch of the batter on it. That's it. Yeah. Let it deep fry. And then this one, as I mentioned early on, I've been keep chill for I think at least for 6 hours. This is the ready cook.
The final product.
The final product. And then
so remind the audience, once you have done that particular dish, you have to wait for 6 hours?
6 hours keep in the fridge or overnight.
Overnight in the fridge, all right. And then it will become like this. It will somehow coagulate, So this is how it looks like once after you keep it for 6 hours.
See the banana? See the interior already come out? See how sweet is it?
Yes.
This is sure is sweet. How sweet is the banana? Because every item when they cook it or deep fry, we can see if contain sugar, he burn very fast. That is a secret. So this should be okay.
It's got a little tail here, isn't it?
Yeah. Like what we say the.
It's look like a shark, like a shark fin here.
Let the kitchen tower observe the excess oil. So it should be okay.
Okay.
And then we now always say presentation makeup.
Presentation is like makeup.
Makeup. Yep. So the clean plate, banana already. We have the garnishing, strawberry, and the almond flake. Pre-fry the black glutinous rice. As you can deep fry inside here because a cut of short time I just pre-fried. So and then the mint leaf.
So this is black glutinous rice. Okay, that's
yes, right.
Yes, black glutinous rice.
Yep. Wow, you can see the crunch of the how we to buy it.
It's almost like popcorn, but tastes a bit charcoaly. So
and then we put the pumpkin sagu fungus sauce on the plate. You can serve it hot as well, doesn't matter. For myself, I always mentioned earlier on, is a hot and cold combination. Like, let's say warm chocolate cake with the vanilla ice cream. It's a sort of like this, but this is like fusion style. And then next we put in the banana. Okay. I break the peel. And then, okay.
Ah, yes.
Done. And then we sprinkle some black rice surrounding. And then some almond flake.
Nice.
And then again the strawberry. And put surrounding. And put on top. This is can be like sharing portion already. It's look huge, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is huge. It's enough for maybe 2 serving,
Yeah.
3 serving.
Good for couple sharing.
Couple, yes.
I think basically there is a sweet dessert ending. Yeah.
Yes.
So pumpkin sagu sauce with the fried banana. So hope everybody enjoy this, and I wishing everybody happy Vesak Day and healthy all the time.
Now, before we go, do we have a name for this?
It's called in Western food always straightforward. They say fried banana with pumpkin sagu sauce. That is, yeah, not like the Chinese has a specific name for the dishes. Yeah.
Okay, look at this. Another large fine dining level dish.
Big, I think we always have the stomach for the sweet stuff, right?
Yes.
No matter how full you are, you're still looking for dessert. Same as me.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is really good stuff. We've got all the healthy ingredient here, and it's a perfect vegetarian,
Vegan, huh?
vegan,
Vegan.
yes,
Yeah.
vegan style dessert. Natural sweetness here, pumpkins, the palm sugar, and flakes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, if you'd like to know more about Sean Chef, please go into his website, the Facebook website, and just type in, search for him, Sean, Food Journey.
Or
Food
Sean,
Journey.
Sean also can.
Yes. And if you can help the audience, how do you spell that name? Sean is an
O-U-N space S-H-O-N-G.
S-H-O-N-G.
Yeah.
So, well, we'd like to thank you today for demonstrating your 3 dishes to educate the audience how simple it is to cook vegetarian dishes. Vegan. Oh,
No
vegan,
dairy.
vegan.
No dairy product.
No dairy product, because
Yes,
we've replaced the dairy with the coconut
Cream.
cream, not
Yes,
milk. I was going
yes.
to say milk. Okay. And so we thank you today for coming.
Thank you
as
very
well.
much, Victor.
And
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, it's my pleasure as well to
Yeah.
learn a couple of new
Yeah.
tricks for the vegetarian dishes as well. So I hope all of you have learned 1 or 2 tricks, or 1 or 2, 3 skills. And if you enjoyed, do make a comment. Otherwise, well, see you in the next activity. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, thank you very much, Sean, for that amazing cooking demonstration. You have taught us how to easily and simply create and cook a very delicious dessert, vegetarian style, vegan style. Thank you very much, Sean. Hope to see you next time in future. Now, coming back, we are going to showcase another temple, which Venerable Kathy Evans, which we are very grateful to invite. She will show us her Tibetan Buddhist society and walk you through her temple and explain a couple of Buddhist art for you to enjoy.
Hello everyone, my name is Kathy and I am ordained as a Tibetan nun at the Tibetan Buddhist Society here in Urok. At the moment I am standing in the temple, and we built this temple in the year 2000, and it is a replica of a temple that you would now find either in southern or northern India, or indeed temples that exist in Tibet. So it's a large space dedicated for meditation and for study, and we have quite an extensive teaching program, of which is detailed on our website if you'd like to have a look at our website. So the main feature of the temple, of course, is the statue of Buddha Shakyamuni. The statue itself is in the style of Tibetan statues, handmade in Nepal by a Nepalese sculptor, and it is the largest Buddha statue of its kind in the southern hemisphere. The statue is of the Buddha, and the Buddha was born about 2,600 years ago in a place in India, Lumbini. It was India at the time, it is now Nepal. And he was raised to be a king in a royal family, and he decided to help all living beings, and he left the palace when he was a young man, and he went into the forests of India and he meditated, and it is said that he had a long retreat for 6 years, at the end of which he was enlightened. So the Buddha statue you're seeing now is of the Buddha as he sat under the big Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya in India, and it is a very familiar pose. The Buddha has his eyes half shut in meditation, very peaceful, very kind, very loving, and he holds a begging bowl in one arm, and the other hand is called the earth touching mudra, and it just touches the earth. He's wearing the robes of a monk, and he is sitting on a cushion of lotus petals, so you can just identify those. The statue is made of brass or copper, and it is gilded in a special process in India, Nepal, and it's gilded with gold. The face itself is hand painted with gold in a very special technique, and the artists that made the statue came out with the statue and helped us put it together before it was finally blessed. We also had an artist come from India who did some of the paintwork that you see around our temple, including the face of the Buddha, which is one of the holiest parts of the Buddha's body. You would think that the statue was empty, but it is traditional in Tibetan statues to actually fill the statue with sacred objects and to bless the statue when it's completed, and that's what we did. So the objects that go into this Buddha statue are actually mantras or prayers. They're all hand printed and then rolled up. There are 25 different prayers in that statue that you can see, and all together in the statue there are over 6 million prayers. So it was my teacher Geshe Loden, whose photo you can see here, Geshe Acharya Thupten Loden, who has since passed away. It was his belief that this statue blessed not only this temple and the property and anyone that came into the centre, but it also blessed the surrounding suburbs and environment, and it was his belief that it blessed the whole of Australia. So it's very revered as a holy object and filled in the traditional way. Not only were there prayers, but there's also a one long pole of sandalwood going from the base of the Buddha to the top, the Yangxing, and around it are special relics which were given to this centre by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. So some of the relics include little statues of Guya Samaja, Yamantaka, but also some very special pills created during the cremation of holy high lamas. Also there's Tibetan herbs, there's dried pine leaves from around the property, crushed in sandalwood, and so on and so on. So that statue is completely filled, and at the end of that process there was a consecration ceremony here in this temple when a whole gathering of monks and nuns actually consecrated the statue. So it's held up by snow lions, and if you can see on the camera, these are mythological animals which hold up the throne of the Buddha. The throne represents the Buddha's Jnanadhammakaya, or omniscient mind, the perfection of his mind, and the lions, there are 8 of them, are holding up the Buddha's throne, and they represent the Buddha's strength. And you'll see my teacher in front, and also on the altar very traditionally are offering lights. Now here in Australia we're in a CFA area, so we just have electric lights for safety reasons. Always silver coloured offering bowls filled with water in the morning, and then someone comes and empties them onto the garden in the afternoon. Always flowers, and always Geshe-la's throne, and a throne of which we keep ready for His Holiness the Dalai Lama if he chooses to visit us, which he did in the year 2000. Behind me is what we call a stupa, and it holds the remains of my teacher, Geshe Acharya Thupten Lodin. That is the cremation remains, which is traditional in Buddhist temples to do so. So before he died, he asked that his remains be shared amongst his temples and that they be placed in respective stupas. And this one was made in India. I actually visited the craftsman's studio while it was being made. It's all hand beaten. Some of it is gold leafed and some of it is silver leafed, and it is in a very particular and traditional shape. It represents the Bodhi mind, or the perfection of mind of the Buddha, and you can see that it's quite large, and it is again absolutely full of holy and traditional substances that go into a stupa. I think it took a small group of us about 5 months to actually collect all the substances that are necessary for the final consecration ceremony from some of the monks. You'll see that it's very ornate, and it has corals and other jewel-like ornaments on it as well. So it's very, very beautiful. So behind the stupa are what we call tankas. It's a Tibetan word for devotional painting. And these have been made by a master craftsman in India, and my teacher organised them to come to Australia some decades ago. So on the right is of Buddha Shakyamuni, and on the left is that of Manjushri, the Buddha of wisdom. And they're all very, very finely painted with beautiful colours, opacities and transparencies, and quite a lot of actual gold paint to give a certain finesse. The surroundings are of brocade, silk brocade, which has probably come from areas of India, Varanasi, for instance. Again, above that are what we call the Kangyur and the Tangyur. So while the Buddha was alive, he taught 84,000 teachings. He taught them actually wandering along the Ganges Valley, up and down. He never ever lived in a house, but he lived under the stars, or in the rainy season he would live in caves. And he taught to villagers and to people that he met on their request in exchange for food. So 84,000 teachings were captured, written down, and eventually written from Sanskrit into Tibetan into these Tangyur and Kangyur, which are incredibly heavy because they're made of paper, they're dense, and it's traditional to have these texts available in the temple. Now behind me you can see the outside of our temple, and this building was built in about 1998. We started building, And originally this block of land was really quite a paddock. It was, for the previous owner, a one-hole golf course, and we had to level out the ground and make a reasonable garden space for the temple to sit in. The temple itself is very traditional to Tibetan temples that you would see if you visited India today, and it has very, very similar aspects and ornaments that you would see on those temples. So we have two roofs, and decorating the roofs at the top are three spires, and they're called victory spires. And they represent the victory of the Buddha over what we call more negative or agitated states of mind. On each corner on the top roof you'll see some mythological creatures called water dragons, and they actually protect the building, and you can see them on all four corners. Right in front is what we call the Dharma Chakra, and that is the wheel of the Buddha's teaching. As he turned the wheel, it is said 3 times, and throughout his life he continued to teach various sutras and tantras. So on either side of the wheel you can see a deer and a doe. One is male and one is female, and they represent what we call bodhisattvas, or the saints, the holy beings listening to the teachings in the form of a deer. So it is actually called Deer Park. On each corner of the building you'll see banners, and Buddhists generally like processions. They enjoy making processions, and you will see old photographs of Tibet, the Patala Palace in Tibet, with processions going right up the side of the building, holding silken banners which represent, sort of victory and celebration of the Buddha's teachings. And in front you'll see a portico, and around the top roof and the portico are lotus leaves, and the lotus leaves there's quite a few of them. They're all handmade, and they represent renunciation. So when we take on a spiritual path, we take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha. We also renounce samsara, and we gain a wish to for personal liberation, and in our temple's belief, liberation on behalf of all living beings. So on each corner of the portico you'll actually see 2 golden objects, and they are what we call, the Tibetans call nobus, or jewels. They're mythological jewels, and they just sort of sit on either end of the portico. Always in a Tibetan centre you will see the red part of the building with the blue lines, the white dots. This is all very traditional, and there are around the temple these golden medallions. So they depict various substances, and you can walk around the temple if you do visit us, and you can look upwards and see all the auspicious symbols. They've all been handmade in plaster, and they're gold leaf. So some years ago, before my teacher died, he asked that we could gold leaf all the ornaments, including the roof, and we haven't been able to complete that, but you'll notice on this very sunny day how very shiny they are. Some of them have been gold leafed, and they're very beautiful to look at. So we do recommend that you come to our temple, you visit, and with a holy mind and a peaceful mind you do kora clockwise around the temple, and it's very auspicious for you to do so. Now the portico, you'll see the 2 red doors, and many Asian temples have red doors, and ours are no exception. This is modelled on the Tibetan Works and Archives building in Durham in McLeodganj in India, and normally it would be wood carved, but we didn't have a wood carver, in Melbourne, so we asked for an Italian master plasterer to come and make a mould, and he made a mould, and it's all been hand painted, which was quite a big job, both of them, making the mould and painting. You'll notice in Tibetan temples it's very colourful, very rich, quite ornate, and it's quite warming to actually come into the temple. On either side of those red doors you'll see 8 auspicious symbols, and they are on either side of the door because that is what is present in Maitreya's Pure Land, and it is auspicious to have those 8 symbols in that order on either side of the front door as they occur in the Pure Land of Maitreya. So our teacher, Geshe Loden, when we built this temple, said that it was an offering from him to the people of Victoria. He said that he had a pension from the Australian government, that the Victorian people were really kind to him, offered him friendship, food, water, and in return he wanted to offer a beautiful example of a Tibetan temple for them to come and enjoy, not necessarily to meditate or study, but to just enjoy the garden as well. So he said that the environment around the temple was also an outdoor offering to the Buddhas. So it should be very pure, very beautiful, and something nice to look at and to visit. So this was a paddock, as I said before, but we converted it with topsoil, and a lot of people put a lot of effort into creating a garden. And it's particularly a garden around the actual pathway around the temple, so that not only are there roses and lavenders and other bushes, but we've also put in a lot of salvia plants which adorn the building. So my teacher loved roses, always did from when I first met him. If you wanted to please him, you'd give him a lovely bunch of a dozen roses. So when we came here, there were roses already in existence in beds because the previous owner had put them in. And we enlarged that until we've got a reasonably diverse rose garden. But he also liked robinia trees. So around the temple you will see these golden robinia trees, and they grace the whole environment. They're a lovely spot to have a picnic or just relax or give your eyes a little bit of refreshment. So this property is protected for animals. So we don't kill any animals. In fact, we support them. And my teacher often said that it was easier to look after and make animals happy, birds particularly, than it was to make human beings happier. So every day, as long as I can remember, even before we came here, my teacher would feed the birds on the property. And we have what we call a bird lawn, where food is put out every morning and fresh water. And we put out basmati rice and good bread, and we get flocks of birds here. And in fact we've got a lot of ducks, and they used to come up to the stairs where they would greet Geshe-la as he came down in the morning waiting for their breakfast. So we get all sorts of native birds here. We get cockatoos, crows, we get rosellas, rainbow lorikeets. Today we had a whole herd of black cockatoos. We get all sorts of water birds such as ducks and all sorts of other birds. So it really is a sort of sanctuary for our feathered friends. So the Tibetan Buddhist Society has quite an active program of events that you can choose to join in. So particularly we have a teaching program in our temple, and we have introductory classes for those of you that might be exploring Buddhist spirituality on Sunday afternoons at 1:30. There's a small charge for the upkeep of the temple. We also have a more advanced class following that, the Path to Enlightenment, which is for people who already have some prior knowledge of Buddhism or maybe feel like starting with the Path to Enlightenment. We also have some more advanced classes for students who have taken initiations on the weekday evenings. So we also, a lot of our students also, some visit prisons to give sort of small teachings. We also have schools visit, we have nursing homes visit. So we have a fairly active program of community access as well, both here and going out into the local community. And we're called upon sometimes for various spiritual services and practices also. We also have, in the local community, there's quite a good deal of homelessness in Broadmeadows. So we have a charitable lunch every second week for those people living in the area, so they can have a hot meal. So this is one of the things that the centre has been providing for some years. And we also have a provision for providing nutrition for an after-school program in the Broadmeadows area as well.
Well, thank you very much, Venerable Kathy Evans, for the discovery journey of your temple. It's an amazing one, and thank you for the education on certain art and Buddhist philosophy. Now, the next Venerable we've got for you to have a look at his temple and his monastery is the renowned Khintrul Rinpoche. He is a Tibetan monk, and he's from the Tibetan Buddhist Rim Institute. So thank you very much, Venerable Khintrul. I'll pass it to you now.
The Tibetan Rinpoche Buddhist Institute was founded in 2006 and is located in Belgrave, Victoria, near Tacoma, about 1 hour outside of Melbourne. I am Chloe Bregman, and I am the treasurer of Dzogchen, Khintrul Rinpoche's international organization. Khintrul Rinpoche founded the Rinpoche Institute to bring the precious teachings of the Janang Kala Chakra to the West, especially to Australia, where they have never been taught before. And he's made an incredible effort to do that. So one of the main programs that we offer here is the complete Janang Kala Chakra, Nondro through the completion stage. And Rinpoche has made a tremendous effort to have an incredibly beautiful version of the 24-armed Kala Chakra statue. It has incredible relics and blessings of all lineages of Tibetan Buddhism inside and put in the hall for the benefit of the Australian people. There is no statue in the world like this one. Just seeing it brings incredible blessings to any visitor's mind. While the Tibetan Rinpoche Buddhist Institute offers the Janang Kala Chakra program for those who wish to go extremely deep, we also work very hard to make the essence of Kala Chakra accessible to everyone in the Australian community. And that essence is really the essence of love, compassion, and wisdom. So we do that through our meditation program, our yoga. We offer Kala Chakra and Vedic astrology, and the foundational teachings of Buddhist philosophy and the Bodhisattva path, and Reiki, so that people can cultivate the qualities to live a better and happier life. The true essence of the Rinpoche Institute is our community, the people who've made huge effort in Australia to build this over the years and to take care of it. So you can see that through the children who have created a vegetable garden and all of the programs that are offered by members of our community here. You can check our website where we keep an up-to-date listing of all of our workshops and special programs. We have a weekly schedule that runs Monday through Sunday. Monday is meditation at 7:30. Tuesday, we offer Introduction to the Buddhist Path at 7:30. We have the Bodhisattva Path on Wednesdays at 7:30. And Thursdays, we offer the Janong Kalachakra Nondro class at 7:30. You can also join us on the weekend on Sunday mornings for a meditation and Tai Chi class that's at 10 a.m. Every third Sunday of the month, we offer Reiki Sangha for those who are interested in learning the art of Reiki. And we look forward to meeting you when you visit our temple.
My name is Jamper Lodu, but I'm known as Kancho Rinpoche from all my books or everywhere in internet, Kancho Rinpoche. Rime Institute means unbiased, non-sectarian approach. This is like more seed to grow for the global peace and harmony. The opposite of global peace and harmony is religious discrimination, racial discrimination, and culture and many things not understanding each other, not focus on the qualities rather than weakness. Then the other important I want to tell you is I emphasize on Shambhala, Pure Land. It is particularly something to do with our world peace and harmony.
I'd like to share with you one of our community's new projects that's very exciting. In Thornton, Victoria, we are building a new retreat center on 40 acres of land. This retreat center will help people find harmony with the environment and themselves in their body and in their mind. The first part of our project at Land of Shambhala is actually building an organic farm based on the permaculture practices. So we'll be building a food forest filled with different deities from different wisdom traditions, such as Chinese medicine, Ayurveda, Tibetan medicine, and we will have classes for yoga and astrology and all of the various Buddhist arts. So one of the things we're working on right now is building a medicine Buddha shaped mandala that you'll be able to see from the sky that will be filled with all the healing herbs. Once we're done with this part, we'll be moving on to create a one-of-a-kind Tibetan Buddhist temple to house the Kalachakra statue that will be based on Kalachakra. So that's something we'll be working on in the future, but if you'd love to come help us right now, we'll be working with the farm area. And we welcome you to come and join us at Thornton, Victoria.
Well, thank you very much, Venerable Khenthro Rinpoche, for the Dharma talk. Now, audience, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to take you to a class, do-it-yourself class. Yes, this is what we call Tai Chi. So next we have a member of AYTM to demonstrate Tai Chi for you. Now, Tai Chi is one of the ancient traditional art where we practice and balance the chi within you. So I hope you enjoy it. Leonie, please take it from here.
Good afternoon. My name is Leonie Leong. I'm actually from Malaysia. Afterwards, you would see me performing Tai Chi. And through the years of my experience, I represent Malaysia for SEA Games, World Wushu in various countries. And then after that, I get the chance to teach the expatriate classes before I migrate to Australia. So this time round, I would like to thank the organizer, Yuan Tong Monastery, to give me the opportunity to perform and to teach Tai Chi every Saturday in the monastery location in Deer Park. So let me just share a little bit on the Tai Chi concept. To me, Tai Chi is more of mindfulness. It's a lot of perseverance and it's a lot of self-healing in a sense that we need to do a lot of meditations before we do the form. So therefore, we need to understand ourselves, our inner breathing, our mind, our thoughts. And Tai Chi gives me a lot of sentimental and a lot of value in life because it gives me a lot of discipline. So Tai Chi to me is kind of like meditate to understand inner self. So all I can say, Tai Chi is like a mindfulness to ourselves. Lastly, I just like to talk about a little bit on the lion dance. Lion dance is basically something that is to welcome, to give blessing, and to give good wishes to everyone. So in these occasions, we get to perform Tai Chi and lion dance from my family. Is to wish everyone happiness and joy. So wishing everyone happy Buddha's Day.
小测，评价谁的理由如何？只敢跟我背上我的，去照料的，却那个途中去觅一个，强不能测，谁是强者？谁在一统我领的资格？小测，评价谁的理由如何？只敢跟我背上我的，去照料的，却那个途中寻觅一个，强不难测，谁是强者？谁在一统我领的资格？
Alright, I hope you enjoyed the Tai Chi for harmony, and hopefully if you practice it every single day, it will balance your internal Chi for the rest of your life and fine-tune your body aches and so forth. So next, we have the next item, the program, which is a Dharma slides that AYTM would like to showcase for you. So enjoy. AYTM, back to you.
Every one of us has taken immense efforts to build sufficient merits to attain the status of a human form.
每个人在过去累劫以来，都需要付出巨大的努力来累积足够的功德，以获得人生的果报。
Hence, we need to refrain ourselves from committing these 10 non-virtuous deeds, as these will make us lose our precious human form and lead us into the 3 suffering realms of animals, hell, and hungry ghosts.
因此，我们必须避免犯下这12罪业，因为这些罪业将使我们失去宝贵的人生果报，导致我们堕入畜生道、地狱道、恶鬼道这3个苦道。
If one dropped down into the 3 suffering realms, it is difficult to return to the human form, and it may not return to human realms for a long time.
一旦堕入这3苦道，众生就很难得回人生，并且可能很长一段时间都不会返回人道。
We tend to act recklessly and pursue evil intentions, creating countless offenses, resentment, enmities, and transgressions with those around us.
我们倾向于鲁莽行事，追求邪恶意念，与周围的人制造出无数的罪行、怨恨与仇恨。
Thus, our karmic sufferings are generated from our own evil actions that have caused sufferings to others.
因此，我们的业力苦难是由我们自己使他人受苦的恶行产生的。
What are the 10 non-virtuous sinful deeds?
何等是12罪业？
From our mind, thoughts.
今生意念。
Number 1, desire and greed.
第一，慳貪。
Number 2, resentment or hate or anger.
第二，嗔恚。
Number 3, ignorance.
第三，痴暗。
From our mouth.
不恶语。
Number 4, abusive speech.
第四，恶口。
Number 5, false speech.
第五，妄语。
Number 6, flattery or overstated speech.
第六，绮语。
Number 7, derisive speech.
第七，两舌。
From our body, action.
自身。
Number 8, killing.
第八，杀生。
Number 9, lust.
第九，情欲。
Number 10, cheating or stealing.
第十，盗窃。
Some reasons why we should refrain from our 10 non-virtuous deeds of our mind.
我们应该如何避免心生恶念？
Number 1, desire and greed.
第一，慳貪。
Because of desire and greed, sentient beings are confined to self-imprisonment of delusions. We will suffer vexations and afflictions of greed and desire, arise due to indulgence and attachments to cravings.
基于欲望和贪婪，众生被困在幻想的自我监禁中。由于渴望对某些人的依恋附着，或是对于事物的放纵和贪欲，我们不断地遭受烦恼和贪婪的折磨。
Because of the causes and conditions of our 5 desires, sentient beings have remained in the cycle of birth and death since immeasurable past lives.
由于我们五欲的种种因果和贪婪执着，众生自好几世以来都处于生死轮回中。
Number 2, resentment, hate, and anger.
第二，嗔恚。
Anger, resentment, and hatred can sever a human's mental state of mind, and the root of wisdom, which, if uncontrolled, will generate a confused consciousness to do unlawful and sinful acts that will lead them further to more issues, troubles, and destructions.
愤怒、怨恨和仇恨可以切断智慧的根源，影响人的精神状态。如果不加控制，就会产生混淆的意识，做出不法和犯罪行为，使人们进一步陷入更多问题、麻烦和毁坏。
When the mind gives rise to anger, it robs us of the great path to enlightenment. The sutra says that nothing can rob us of our merits and virtues more than anger.
当思想萌起愤怒的意念时，我们迈向觉悟的进度即被剥夺。佛经说，除了愤怒，没有什么能抢夺我们的功德和德行。
The lifespan of human is short and impermanent. Do not lose the glory and beauty of our human form. If we allow resentment, anger, hatred to control our state of mind to do sinful actions, we will surely lose our human form in our next rebirth.
人一生的寿命短而无常，所以不要失去美好的人生。如果我们容许怨恨、愤怒、仇恨控制我们的心态去行恶，下一世我们肯定会失去人生的机会。
Number 3, ignorance.
第三，痴暗无知。
Ignorance gives rise to all kinds of erroneous views and evil deeds. These lead to vexation of misunderstanding due to a confused mind, the vexations of pride due to our arrogance, the vexation of doubts due to disbelieving the right path.
无知可以引起各种各样的错误观点和邪恶行为，因为无知，所以导致误解的烦恼。因为傲慢而遭受到功高我慢的烦恼，因为不信任正道而产生疑虑与烦恼。
Accumulated ignorance obscure the mind thoughts.
累积的无明障蔽心目，使头脑思想模糊不清。
Therefore, the sutra says the karma of greed, anger, and ignorance causes sentient beings to suffer in the realms of hells, animals, and hungry ghosts. If they are born as humans, they will be poor, lonely, cruel, stubborn, foolish, confused, and ignorant. The karma of the mind causes such evil retributions.
因此，经文言道，贪婪、愤怒和无知的业力会令众生堕入地狱道、畜生道和恶鬼道受苦。如果他们出生于人道，他们会贫穷、孤独、残酷、固执、愚蠢、困惑和无知。住烦恼报乃是因为业力导致的恶果。
Some reasons why we should refrain from these non-virtuous deeds of our mouth.
为什么我们要避免造口业，不恶言？
Our mouth is the door to all animosities and troubles. That's why all Buddhas caution us not to engage in verbal offenses of duplicity, malicious speech, lying, and frivolous speech, as these cause intense harms to others.
我们的嘴巴是一切仇恨和麻烦的根源，这就是为什么佛陀都告诫我们不要犯上毁言、恶言、谎言和绮语，因为这些行为会对他人造成严重伤害。
Immoral and spiteful language, frivolous and argumentative speech inevitably bring us evil retribution.
不道德和恶意的语言、绮语和妄语都会带给我们恶果和恶报。
Number 4, abusive speech.
第四，恶口业。
The way we talk can be rude, rough, and careless without considering the age, relationship, and social status of others. We scold, curse, defame, accuse, or insult others excessively with obscenities, and disgracing others who do not satisfy our wishes. These acts create disharmony, anger, and lifelong grudges among affected parties. Hence, we create endless disasters and feuds for ourselves.
我们没有考虑他人的年龄、人际关系和社会地位，谈话粗暴、粗鲁和粗心。我们辱骂、诽谤、指责或羞辱他人，或者贿赂不满足我们愿望的他人。这些行为构成了双方面不和谐、嗔怒和终身怨恨，也为我们制造了无尽的灾难和仇恨。
Number 5, false speech.
第五，妄语。
We hide the truth and committed fraud shamelessly. We claim that we did not hear something when we actually heard it, and vice versa. We claim that we did not do something when we actually did it, and vice versa. We intentionally cause families to ruin, disharmony among friends, and enmity among countries.
我们说谎，掩饰事实真相，并无耻地欺诈。我们颠倒是非，令人真假莫辨。我们故意造成家庭破裂，朋友之间不和，以及国家之间的敌对。
We claim that devas and nagas, gods and demons, and local cyclone ghosts have arrived upon our request. We have shown off supernatural powers to deceive others.
例如，我们声称天魔与天龙、神灵与魔界、幽灵界都能回应我们的要求和召唤。我们以炫耀拥有灵异能力来欺骗他人。
Number 6, divisive speech.
第六，两舌业。
We have praised a person to his face, but slandered him behind his back. We use cunning words to provoke conflicts amongst people by telling falsehoods to one about another and vice versa. We had only self-interest in mind and carelessly harmed others.
我们在人前称赞，但在背后诽谤，口是心非。我们两头挑唆是非，挑拨离间，激发人们之间的冲突，着重自身利益，忽视他人被伤害。
By backstabbing and making false accusations, we have caused conflicts and disharmony among family members, friends, communities, workmates, and countries.
通过暗算和虚假指控，我们在家庭成员、朋友之间、社群、同事间及国与国之间增添冲突，破坏和谐共处。
Number 7, flattery or overstated speech.
第七，绮语。
We use impressive, extravagant and sensational language to disguise our faults, and have skillfully written poems and lyrics to flagelliously describe obscene situations. All these have disturbed the minds of people, making them lose control, giving into indulgence, and helpless to escape from their debauchery.
我们刻意使用夸张、感人而耸人听闻的语言来掩饰我们的缺点，并善巧写诗和歌词来描述淫秽情况。这一切都影响了人们的思维，使他们丧失了自我控制能力，屈服于放纵，最终堕入淫荡的诱惑。
Some reasons why we should refrain from these non-virtuous deeds of our body action.
为什么我们要避免不道德的身体行为？
We tend to harbor thoughts of anger, hate, greed, ignorance, arrogance, which lead us to non-virtuous actions, such as
我们倾向于贪、嗔、痴、慢这4种心，使我们造作以下恶业。
Number 8. Killing.
第8，杀生。
We do not have compassion and mercy on others as we would on ourselves. Do not kill or abuse another human or animals. Although their forms are different from ours, their desires to survive and their fear of death is the same as ours. If we can trace their past lives, since time immemorial, they could have been our parents, siblings, or close relatives.
我们对待有情众生缺乏同情心和怜悯心，请勿杀害或虐待他人或有生命的动物。虽然他们的形式与我们不同，但他们对生存的渴望以及对死亡的恐惧与我们是相同的。
Due to their karmic causes and conditions, they transmigrated and have altered their appearances according to their retributions, and we no longer recognize them.
由于他们的业力因素，他们根据报应而重生，并改变了外貌，我们不再认识他们。
Number 9. Lust.
第9，情欲。
When our Sifu explained the Heart Sutra, he commented that life is impermanent, and our quest for form, sound, smell, taste, touch are also temporary thoughts. Hence, we should not allow these temporary desires to create our bad karma.
我们的法师在讲解心经时，曾说生活是无常的，我们对色、声、香、味、触的追求也只是短暂的想法，所以我们不应让这些暂时的欲望造成我们的不良业力。
Our main purpose in this Saha world is to develop good habits and practice more good deeds to build up our merits, which can be used to clear our self-induced karmic sufferings.
我们在这个娑婆世界要养成良好的习惯，实践更多的善举，以便功德增长，业障消除。
An ancient saying states that when craving for love feeling arises, there is rebirth. When the emotional craving ceases, rebirth ends. Hence, please understand that the craving for love is the root of the cycle of birth and death.
一句古老的谚语说：“当渴望爱时，就会轮回重生；当停止渴望，轮回就结束了。”因此，请理解，对爱的渴望就是生死轮回的根源。
Number 10. Stealing and cheating.
第10，盗窃。
As stated in the sutra, if something belongs to others, we should not take any bit of it without owner's consent. When we sentient beings see any monetary benefits to be gained, we will employ plentiful immoral means to obtain them. Hence, we have caused others to suffer pain in order to benefit our own selves.
如经文所述，如果物品属于他人，未经拥有者同意，我们不应取其任何东西。有时我们为了获得金钱利益，会采用一些不道德的手段来获得它们。因此，我们往往为了让自己受益而使他人受苦。
We steal or borrow others' belongings for ourselves, or to lend to others or forget to return. We exchange valuable goods with less worthy ones. This category of humans' behaviors will cause hatred, anger, and disharmony among those affected.
有时候我们盗窃，有时候我们窃取或借用他人的财物，或借给他人，或忘记交还，或在过程中我们以价值较低的物品换取价值较高的物品。这类的行为将会引起他人仇恨、愤怒而不和谐。
Self-reflections.
自我反思。
If we continue to commit the above 10 non-virtuous deeds, we are accumulating our negative karmas. Hence, we will be trapped and revolving into the cycles of birth and death, making it more difficult to jump out of the suffering abyss.
如果我们继续做出上述10项恶业的行为，我们正在积累我们的负业力，因此我们将被困住，并堕入生与死的循环之中，使我们更难以逃离苦难的回转。
However, if you avoid these 10 evil sins and diligently do more good wholesome deeds, your human status will be elevated to enjoy bliss in the heavenly realm and the respective Buddha's pure lands.
然而，如果您避免了这10个邪恶的恶业，并努力地做更多的善事，人的品味就会提高，舍报后将生于佛国净土中享受幸福。
The destiny ball is in your very own hands to maneuver.
您的命运就在您自己掌控之中。
Remind us, we create the cause by our own actions and suffer the retributions ourselves. You reap what you sow.
温馨提醒，我们乃是通过自己的行动制造因缘，并自己遭受报应。种瓜得瓜，种豆得豆。
Well, thank you very much, AYTM, for the spectacular Dharma slides and an educational one. I hope all of you actually enjoyed it. Next, we have another discovery, perhaps one of the last discovery sessions for this event or this chapter. And we have invited Genji Sonem Tagi from Droka Buddhist Center to take you to a discovery sessions and a journey of his temple. Enjoy!
Want us to open the gate?
And that means the sub-purpose of his coming here is, more peaceful mind and subdue mind. Also, Buddhism learning is the purpose is to subdue mind. And the purpose of life is happiness. Otherwise, end of time, everything is left behind. Rich or poor, doesn't matter who you are. We are all, Before that, changing these things, you cannot avoid. But what you can do is day by day, nice day by day, nice hour, little bit positive, be happy, be more smiling. Okay? But you can do it. Definitely you can do it. Okay? Start today. Change it. Don't wait. Honestly, beautiful life. Honestly, a bit precious human rebirth. Very precious. Compare to we are very high level position. Beginning I told you, Australia countries compare is really good, but still of course plenty suffering. But compare we are very good position. That's you should know. Good for you. Okay? And therefore a little bit to help other people's number one. If you cannot, but must you enjoy yourself. Look after yourself. Okay? Thank you. Okay. Happy New Year. This Western Happy New Year gone, but Tibetan Chinese New Year is coming. Friday, right? Coming. Therefore, I say, on behalf of 6 million Tibetan people, say Happy New Year for you. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Okay. But I say this is Buddhism. This is good for not sure, but you should learn meditation and philosophy. Definitely help you. That's my experience tell you. But I don't care you are Buddhist or no, I don't care. Honestly, I'm not higher, convert or missionary. I'm not missionary here. If it makes sense, you think. Doesn't make sense, put in my garden. Compose. Okay? Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
We're going to start off with generating our intention, looking at our motivation through the refuge prayer and some of the prayers. Okay. This enables us to reflect upon our intention. And so if we create the causes that helps aid and guide our actions of body, speech and mind, then we experience the ripening effect of that. Okay, so when we generate a positive motivation, generating the highest motivation, which is the goal here for us is to reach enlightenment, so that we were able to be of much more benefit to others. We can help others much more effectively and efficiently.
Taking refuge and generating bodhicitta. Sangye choran sokhi shobnamba jamchu barudani pyasuchi dagi jinso jipe sonanki rola panche sanje drupashu sangye choran sokhi shobnamba jamchu barudani pyasuchi dagi jinso jipe sonanki rola panche sanje drupashu Sangye choran sokhi chognamba jamchu baruda suci, dagi chinin jepe sonamki, trola panche sanje drupasho.
Rockar Buddhist Centre is open to all members of the community in the Surf Coast and Geelong region. We offer Tibetan Buddhist Mahayana teachings by Geshe Sonam Taji and the Venerable Jampa Drolma.
The lower part of the nose, just below the nose.
We offer single-pointed meditation classes, which are secular, in order to help people relieve their stress and anxieties in this modern world. All our meditation teachers are long-term practitioners. We are situated on the Surf Coast on 7 beautiful acres. Our gardens are peaceful and tranquil, and people love to walk around and feel at one with nature. We have some lovely Buddhist imagery and statues that help people to be mindful and remember the teachings of the Buddha. His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama has visited the Geelong area twice, first in 2002 and again he came here to Paraparap in 2007. He consecrated our large stupa and blessed our temple, giving a teaching to everyone that was available. Geshe Doga has always supported the Rockar Buddhist Centre.
What drew me to Buddhism was really an existential understanding that there is more to life than the mundane, what we refer to as the 8 worldly dharmas. There's more to life, more to happiness than those aspects. And I found that persistently the encouragement of Buddhism to ask questions, ask hard questions, is what particularly attracted me to the practice.
I'm a very practical person, and I suppose my journey with Buddhism started probably about 30 years ago, and I wasn't happy with the way my life was and the way I was handling situations around me. And I found that Buddhism presented a set of tools that I could use in different situations, different meditations to help with, difficult mindsets. So for me, that's always been a strong draw card, is that there's always something there that I can use that will help me in any everyday situations. And it's been, I think it's something you can rely on that helps, gives you that inner strength in a lot of situations.
Nearly 16 years now. I lived in Torquay and I retired, and I thought this is something that I'd like to do, and here it was in my backyard. So I thought I was very lucky, yes. So I come once a week to the Tuesday teachings and stay for the healing meditation in the afternoon. Oh, a great deal. I think it keeps me grounded. It keeps me happy. It teaches me to deal with things better. I'm more relaxed. I've just made some lovely friends here too. They're just very nice people. So I love it for that reason too.
So I come to a Monday night study group, and that's both we meditate together and chant together, and then we study a text, the Tibetan Buddhist text on the stages of the path. And I find that it gives my mind a rhythm for the week, like to practice a teaching for the week, and reflect on that in my life, and then just really enjoy the chanting together as well and the meditating together. And I love the gardens here. I do some gardening here. I've been drawn to Buddhism I think because of the practice of it, so it's practical, so learning to transform your mind through proven techniques that have been used for many thousands of years, and also the wisdom of it, so seeing that at heart it's about the principle of dependent arising. All things arise due to causes and conditions, so that fits with scientific knowledge as well.
Well, one of the main jobs is to be available when people arrive, people come through the gate, whether they are members or people coming to the classes. But yeah, a lot of people just come to the gate and either call, or suddenly you'll find them wandering around the garden. So I tend to greet them and just give them a little explanation about the property, how long we've been here, and show them where they can go for a walk around the place.
So it's just so nice coming out here, the ambience, and meet lovely people here. It's just such a nice place to come.
I've been meaning to do something like this for you. I've been meaning
Well, thank you very much, Venerable, for that enjoyable discovery journey. Now, we've got our last teacher, and he is from the Dhammnikitanaya Buddhist Center. His name is Zach, and he's going to say a few words to you. Enjoy.
Greetings, Buddha Saranai. I'm Zach. Over here I'm known as Maitri. It's the word for compassion. What brought me here was over in the Western world I was a little lost. I was rather chaotic in my thoughts. This place brings about calmness, and in particular Buddhism teaches you how to control your mind. It focuses on concentration, focuses on wisdom, and I always forget what the last one is, but it's okay, I'm sure it will come to me as we progress along. But yeah, this place, it teaches you that you're not your thoughts. Your thoughts aren't you. They're just thoughts. If you attach yourself to thoughts of worrying, you'll be worried. You attach yourself to thoughts of distress, you'll be distressed. What's beyond those thoughts? It's peace, joy, tranquility. It comes with insight. And with that insight, you learn what's important to you, what's not important to you, and the biggest thing that is important is happiness. Something the Western world seems to have forgotten, or at least doesn't seem to be interested in. It seems to be interested in gain, money, greed. You could almost say delusion, but it's not important. What is important is how you treat yourself, how you treat others. And how you treat others, whether wholesome or unwholesome, those are rewards of that. You treat someone unwholesomely, unwholesome actions occur. You want to treat them wholesomely. If the whole world treated everyone wholesomely, who knows what sort of world we would live in. It wouldn't be this world. But I'm not going to tell you to come down here. You come down here if you want to, the same way I did. Everything in my life just was slowly leading to this. Talks of meditation, chakras, crystals, reikis, hippies. Eventually I thought, why not? I was looking for help through doctors. I was looking for help through therapists. They just didn't have the answers that I wanted. As soon as I came here, I knew this is where I wanted to be. These people had the answers. I just had to ask the right questions. And the truth is, the answers are the questions, and the questions are the answers. Hopefully you'll ask the right ones. Hopefully you'll find the right teachers and the right guides. Same way I did. Thank you so much for speaking with me. Thank you so much for being here. Putu sarana.
Righty, I hope you enjoyed all the various Dharma masters and inspirational teachers that you have come across for the past 2 days, Sunday and today, Wednesday. And I know you have sacrificed some of your time to watch these life-changing as well as informational videos, virtual, and I hope you really enjoyed it. But I congratulate you for sticking this through, because there are so many distractions in this world that it's really hard to choose and decide on something that benefits you and appreciate over the long run than going for a short-term gratification. So I congratulate you for sticking for this long. Now, before we conclude for the day and the event, there are 2 more performances that we would like to enjoy. The number 1 is an Indian traditional dance, because obviously Buddha back at that time is in the Nepal/India type. So we thought that this could be a theme to wrap up today's festival. As well, we've got a Chinese orchestra that we would also like you to see as well. It is a performance. Again, when the Buddhism went and migrate over to China to propagate, it becomes a traditional Mahayana Buddhism. So I hope you enjoy that, because it is a mixture of the Chinese culture after many years. So hope all of us would enjoy this next 2 performances. All right, enjoy.
अपने दीवाने का कर दे पूरा हाल रे, की अखियों से गोली मारे, की अखियों से गोली मारे, लड़की कमाल रे, की अखियों से गोली मारे, लड़की कमाल रे, की अखियों से गोली मारे।
Transmission. Transmission.
रात रात नशियां च नचदी फिरा नॉन स्टॉप पींदी जावा उफ ना करा आय हाय रात रात नशियां च नचदी फिरा नॉन स्टॉप पींदी जावा उफ ना करा दिल सिद्ध उत्ते अड़िया पे हत्था विच पड़िया रंग विस्की दा चढ़िया होई गुलाबण मैं ओ मुंडे कहंदे वड्डी शराबण वड्डी शराबण वड्डी शराबण मैं ओ मुंडे कहंदे वड्डी शराबण वड्डी शराबण वड्डी शराबण मैं ओ मुंडे कहंदे वड्डी शराबण वड्डी शराबण वड्डी शराबण मैं ओ मुंडे कहंदे वड्डी शराबण वड्डी शराबण वड्डी शराबण मैं
इतना मजा क्यों आ रहा है तूने हवा में भांग मिलाया दुगना नशा क्यों हो रहा है आंखों से मीठा तूने खिलाया वो तेरी मलमल की गुर्दी गुलाबी हो गई चली चाल कैसे नवाबी हो गई बलम पिचकारी जो तूने मुझे मारी तो सीधी सादी चोरी शराबी हो गई अजीब पहन के जो तूने मारा ठुमका तो लड्डू पड़ोसन की बाबी हो गई बलम पिचकारी जो तूने मुझे मारी तो सीधी सादी चोरी शराबी हो गई अजीब पहन के जो तूने मारा ठुमका तो लड्डू पड़ोसन की बाबी हो गई
मेरे होठों से धुआंधार निकलती है जो बोली जैसे जैसे बंदूक की गोली मेरे तेवर में है तहजीब की रंगीन रंगोली जैसे जैसे हो ईद में होली मेरे होठों से धुआंधार निकलती है जो बोली जैसे जैसे बंदूक की गोली मेरे तेवर में है तहजीब की रंगीन रंगोली जैसे जैसे हो ईद में होली मेरे जीवन की दशा थोड़ा रस्तों का नशा थोड़ी मंजिल की प्यास है बाकी सब फर्स्ट क्लास है बाकी सब फर्स्ट क्लास है बाकी सब फर्स्ट क्लास है हाँ कसम से बाकी सब फर्स्ट क्लास है
सबके होठों पे चर्चा तेरा भटका गलियों में पर्चा तेरा यूं तो आशिक है लाखों मगर सबसे ऊंचा है दर्जा तेरा
मेरी तारीफ से छुपती फिर बदनामियां मेरी जैसे जैसे वो आंख मिचोली मेरे तेवर में तहजीब की रंगीन रंगोली जैसे जैसे वो ईद में होली मेरे जीवन की दशा थोड़ा रस्तों का नशा थोड़ी मंजिल की प्यास है बाकी सब फर्स्ट क्लास है बाकी सब फर्स्ट क्लास है बाकी सब फर्स्ट क्लास है कसम से बाकी सब फर्स्ट क्लास है
Thank you.
चमके चूड़ी खन के लौंग मारे लश्कारे हम हो गए तुम्हारे हाय बिंदिया चमके चूड़ी खन के लौंग मारे लश्कारे हम हो गए तुम्हारे थोड़े सजन तो है मारी कसम थोड़े सजन तो है मारी कसम मारी मांग भर दे तारे
हाय बिंदिया चमके चूड़ी खन के लौंग मारे लश्कारे हम हो गए तुम्हारे बिंदिया चमके चूड़ी खन के लौंग मारे लश्कारे हम हो गए तुम्हारे.
Hi, my name is Marshi and I'm from June Bollywood, and we love to spread the joy of Bollywood dancing throughout Melbourne but all over the place, and especially online these days as well. Bollywood is the name given to the film industry based in Mumbai in India, and they make lots and lots of films. The ones that we love especially are the ones that have lots of song and dance numbers and lots of colour, and people just appear out of nowhere and seem to know the same dance steps. So we love to use those kinds of songs and teach dance moves to everybody that love to dance, everybody who wants to express themselves, and everybody who loves to stay fit and get fit, because it's a really good way of getting a good cardio workout as well as finding out about Bollywood and Indian culture and South Asian culture as well. So we started June Bollywood all the way back in 2008 because we saw that people in Melbourne especially love to dance to Bollywood music, and it gave us an excuse to keep dancing to Bollywood music. And we are based in Fitzroy, and we currently run classes we're back currently running classes in person in Fitzroy, but we are also simultaneously doing that online. So Wednesday nights 7:30 to 8:30, come along and register online. If you go to our website www.junebollywood.com, you'll find the links to register for classes.
Greetings to everyone. We are the Chinese Orchestra from Catholic High School Petaling Jaya, and we are glad to have this golden opportunity to perform today. Our Chinese Orchestra has been established since 5th of May 1989 until now. We hope to engage more people about Chinese orchestra and pass down the culture of traditional Chinese instruments to the younger generation.
A few members from our Chinese orchestra will be performing the piece called Miao Hui. Hope all of you will enjoy the performance and have a nice day. Thank you.
Okie dokie, and I hope you enjoyed those two performances. One is from June Bollywood, yeah. And if they haven't actually introduced, you better check them out. They are a fantastic dancers teaching traditional Indian dance move. If you enjoy Bollywood, that's where you can go. And of course, the Chinese orchestra, I hope you also enjoy that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, children, families, and young people, this concludes the second day of Wednesday of this whole entire festival. Now, we have the complete rerun on this coming Sunday, and you can watch that, enjoy that as long as you want. Watch it on PC, laptop, or on your smartphone. But whatever it is, I would like to say that thank you for participating in this festival, and I really hope that you have got something out of it, be it a key to unlock not some of your challenges, or perhaps you have attained some kind of clarification or directions in your spiritual journey. And whatever it is, sometimes I really hope that you have got out of something from these 2 days festivals. And if you haven't joined our emailing list, please send us an email. We'll record your email and we'll keep you up to date with the events. The Buddhist of the West and Multicultural Festivals is going to be held every single year, sometime in the Vesak day, which is often the first week or second week of May every single year. So we hope to see you next year live on site in a park where hopefully the pandemic or any other global situation have subsided and everyone is free to go everywhere to go. So hope to see you live in person next year or the subsequent years. But if not, hey, we have to improvise. We can always see you virtual like this. Nothing is lost, nothing is really missed out. And we will continue to get and attract and invite as many Dharma Masters as possible, because the Vesak Day and Buddha's Day is supposed to commemorate the birth, the enlightenment, and the nirvana of Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, Gautama Siddhartha Buddha. Whatever you want to call it, it is Buddha in all our heart. And I really hope that you enjoyed everything this experience that have brought to you. Now, if any of the Dharma Master have resonate with you, their messages, their philosophy, their themes have resonated with you, I encourage you to get in touch with them. Because with nowadays, distance is not an issue anymore. There's email, there's WhatsApp, there's Facebook. There is a temple at which you can really enjoy. So, congratulations for staying for this long, and I really hope and wish you lots and lots of blessing, and follow the Triple Gem, and also may the light be with you.